Hello everyone, I am Jaitir Gumaste. I will be explaining about capital asset pricing model and capital budgeting. Firstly, CAPM, that is capital asset pricing model. Introduction. It represents the expected or required return from an investment in an asset compared with the risk involved. In other words, it's a model that indicates the relationship between return and risk of investing in a security. It shows that expected return on a security is equal to risk-free return plus a premium on which based on the beta of that security. This is one of the most widely used theory or a model to calculate the cost of equity. Now let's understand the components of CAPM. Firstly, risk-free rate. It is the interest rate arising from secured assets like government bonds, which is equal to yield on bonds. The risk-free rate should correspond to the country where the investment being made. The maturity of the bond should match the horizon of the investment. Next, beta. It's a sensitivity or a fluctuations in an asset with change in market. It seems to volatility of returns. Third, expected market return. Its estimated return to be earned from the stock market. Let's move to the calculation part. Formula for CAPM. Expected return from investment equal to risk-free rate plus beta of investment into expected return from market minus risk-free rate. ERI stands for expected return from investment, RF stands for risk-free rate, BI stands for beta of investment, ERM stands for expected return from market, ERM minus RF stands for market risk premium. Let's understand with the below illustration. 10-year government bond 7%, expected market return 9%, beta equal to 1.2, market risk premium equal to expected market return minus risk-free rate. So we get 9% minus 7%, that is 2%. Therefore, the expected return from investment is equal to risk-free plus beta of investment into expected return of market minus risk-free rate. So when we substitute with the formula 7% plus 1.2 into 2%, the answer will be 9.4. This CAPM model has some of the assumptions. There are totally 4 assumptions. First one, homogeneous expectations, that is, all investments share the same belief about distribution of funds. Second point, no transaction costs. Third one, market are in equilibrium nature. Fourth and last one, no inflation. Let's move on to the next topic, that is capital budgeting. Let's understand the meaning. It's a spending of funds for a large expenditure like purchasing of fixed assets and equipments, repairs to the fixed assets or equipments, research and development. The budgeting is set of targets for the projects to ensure maximum profitability. Now, let us understand the objectives of capital budgeting. First one, selecting profitable projects. Companies come across various profitable projects frequently, but due to the capital restrictions, they need to select right mixture of profitable projects to maximize the shareholders' wealth. Second one, capital expenditure control. The vital role is to have the control on the costs. That is also an important objective. Forecasting capital expenditure requirements and budgeting for it, and also ensuring no investment opportunity or loss is the main crux of budgeting. Third one, finding the right sources of funds means determining the quantum of funds which we need and procuring them is also a most important objective of capital budgeting. finding the goal balance between cost of borrowing and returns on investments is vital for capital budgeting. Let's move on to the capital budgeting process. This process has 5 steps. The first step is identifying investment opportunities. Second one, evaluation of all investment proposals. Third one, choosing the most profitable investment. Fourth one, capital budgeting and apportionment of funds. Fifth one, performance review. If the investment earns the profit or loss from its sales, should be compared with the set of expected returns so that this helps to the review of the performance. Let's understand the techniques of capital budgeting, also called as methods of capital budgeting. First one, payback period method. In this method, the entity calculates the time period required to earn the initial investment of the project or investment. The project or investment with the shortest duration is opted for capital budgeting. Second one, net present value. It's calculated by the taking difference between the present value of cash inflows and the present value of cash outflows over a period of time. The investment with a positive NPV will be considered. Third one, accounting rate of return. In this technique, the total net income of the investment is divided by the initial or average investment at the most profitable investment. Fourth one, internal rate of return, also called as IRR. For NPV computation, a discount rate is used. IRR is the rate at which the NPV becomes zero. The project with the higher IRR is usually selected. Fifth one, profitability index. This is the ratio of present value of the future cash flows of the project to the initial investment required for the project. So if you like this video, please do like, share and comment. Also subscribe the MBA lecturers channel page. Thank you.